Hey everybody, it is Brittany and I am bringing you another speed paint video. I hope you guys are getting your popcorn or your drink or your sketchbook or whatever you got and getting ready to sit down and hang out with me. I know I typically like listening to the videos that are kind of like talky, so if you don't like that video, let me know down in the comments below. I definitely thrive on having noise in the background when it comes to working in my sketchbook and stuff. And most of the time when I'm working in my sketchbook and whatnot, I usually have things that I've already watched playing in the background. So anything from like Rules of Engagement to Big Bang Theory to Friends, even though I don't really watch Friends all that much, it's background noise. And then I've gotten even to the point where I'm listening to a podcast. I've really enjoyed that because then when I'm sitting there and I'm engulfed into what I'm working on, it gives me a way to absorb everything that's happening around me a lot better. And I know some people can relate to that, and that's why I gravitate towards having that background noise. And actually right now that you're watching this, I don't have any background noise because right now I'm doing a voiceover. And I don't know if you had seen prior to me coloring in this part, I realized that I almost messed up and colored completely straight through the sketchbook onto the next drawing. And I was like, I totally had an oh crap moment when I had realized that. So I tend to layer paper behind when I'm using alcohol-based markers, which is what I'm working with right now. I tend to layer underneath it just so that way any bleed through on that mixed media pad is not going to affect the next piece of artwork. And that was something I had completely forgot about, and I almost ruined that next piece of artwork that that I was going to be working on. And so yeah, I am currently working on possibly rebranding some of the things that I've done. So like I believe my Redbubble shop and a couple of other stuff, I plan on kind of rebranding and trying to figure out the best way to go about making it easier on you guys to be able to find my artwork and for other people to recommend where they could find my artwork. Usually if you just search Brittany or even Scribbles by Brittany, I try to keep those hashtags the same so that way you guys can find me. And down below, I put all the links in the description box so that way you guys can find me on social media. And so yeah, that's kind of something that I do to help you guys out. If you guys ever want tutorials on anything that I sketch or that I do, I am glad to give that to you. I just need to make sure that you guys comment below. That's where all that feed is at. Like, I won't be able to know what you guys want unless you don't tell, you got to tell me. You got to make sure that communication's open. I'm right now trying to record this audio very quickly because my dog is trying to bug the hell out of me. And if you are new to this, it should not, like, my dog is very annoying, and sometimes he will interrupt my recording processes or my audio recording processes very frequently. He's done it before. He's done it a handful of times before, and it drives me crazy. So if you have, so just as like a pre-warning, he definitely can become very needy. He's a pit bull, so I mean you can gather as much information as possible just by saying that. Anyway, I wanted this piece of artwork to reflect back mainly on the change that I'm going through as a person. And it was kind of like seeing my way out of the darkness into a more colorful and bright world. That's kind of like how I kind of wanted it to be. Here recently I've been going through a lot of changes and figuring things out and trying to I've been finding myself, not that I've really lost myself. Now, if you are a friend, coworker, or family member, um, I understand that I've probably lost my mind, and that won't ever be found. Sorry, it's just not gonna happen. And that's okay. I mean, like, look at me. Right now, I am literally talking to myself through this, and I honestly, half the time, I don't even know what I'm gonna say. I just kind of ramble. I'm a rambling man. That's just, yeah. So I tend to try to go with one train of thought, and sometimes I do not have any thoughts whatsoever. But I will say that this was kind of, this piece of artwork was me trying to find the beauty there is out of that darkness that I was in. And there for a while I was kind of in a really dark spot. And it was, I don't want to say it had anything, it really did not have anything to do with me. It was everything that I was trying to fight within. Okay, that kind of sounded not the way that I wanted it to come out or whatever. But there was a lot of and I'm going to lightly touch on this. I had a lot of trauma with my last relationship, and that was kind of where a lot of that darkness came from. I didn't think I was worthy. I had no clue what I was doing. Um, and that was kind of the hard part that I was trying to figure out within myself. I had no freaking clue how to navigate anything, and even to this day, like, I struggle with so much. um I struggle with so much guilt. um and the guilt is more like I felt guilty because I wasn't spending the time that I could with my family. The I had a lot of fear, and the fear was kind of a lot of was a lot of everything kind of smushed together. And then I also had fear of the unknown, and I think that right there was one of the things that I overcame um in this new type of change that I've been kind of going through. Um the fear of the unknown is just that. It's the fear of the unknown. Now, whether you're going to want to how should I say, whether you want to embrace that fear of the unknown and take it on and do what you want to do and be who you are, that's that's what, that's what I want this to be. Like I want to be like my authentic self, and honestly these videos are helping that. In a way it's kind of therapy, if not, it's if it's not going to help me, it's also going to help one of you figure out what you want to do. And the whole fear, like here recently I've been trying to plan a solo trip up to Alaska, and I'm still trying to figure out what days I want to go up there, and I'm not going to release those days until I get back from Alaska. So nobody's really going to know when I go up there and for how long, because I really don't want my travel information. Um, I don't want somebody to come and stalk me. I really don't need that drama. And trust me, if you stalk me, this is my warning for everybody. Don't fuck with me. Like, please don't. But anyway, like I do have a solo, well, right now it's a solo trip because I don't have anybody else coming with me. Unless I do find somebody else to come with. But the solo trip to Alaska right now is my way of embracing that fear and doing something that scares the absolute shit out of me. Like, I am, how should I say, part of me is absolutely so freaking happy about possibly going, and the other half of me is like, holy shit, I'm trying to commit to this. I'm scared to death. Um, and it has absolutely nothing to do with like me being kidnapped or me being stalked or me being whatever, eaten by a damn grizzly bear. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. It's the fact that I am traveling by myself, solo. I am planning a trip for myself, and that alone makes me really freaking emotional. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm getting choked up. So, anyway, I'm trying to like reel it all in. But this trip is for me. Um, I owe this trip to myself. Excuse me. Sorry, guys, I've had to kind of get my composure back, and whenever I talk about the Alaska trip, I get very passionate and very energetic, and I I'm going to be talking about hopefully planning this trip within the next year. So if you hear me talking about it a lot, I apologize, but until I get there, that's all I'm going to think about, other than my artwork, of course, and what I got to do. Um but anyway, I I've wanted this to be like, I wanted this piece of artwork to showcase that there is beauty coming out of that darkness. Whether you see it or not, you'll know it within your heart, within your soul, you will know what what it looks like. And this is the best, in my opinion, this was the best way to be able to make art out of it. I know I'm struggling right now to figure out words to put, and it's crazy because if I could take the recordings about what I talk about with like my coworkers and stuff and throw them on these videos, you guys would know. You guys would be like, "Oh my gosh, like she knows what the fuck she's talking about." I can sit there at work and talk about some of the dumbest things in the world. But when I come to sit down in front of a computer for my artwork, I fall flat on my face. And I'm trying to figure out the best way without having to look at notes. Most of the time I'm just kind of rambling on, and really half the time I don't even know what I'm talking about. So bear with me. Especially if you're new here, it's okay. Like, I'm okay. I've been told by a couple of people that I might have, and these are like registered nurses, so like there have been a couple of times where a couple of registered nurses have asked me if I might have undiagnosed ADHD, and you know what? I've never been tested, but if you want to take a look at these videos and let me know what you think, go right ahead. Obviously, like, I'm not getting distracted on the video, but in real life, I get distracted so much. And sometimes I don't have, and like, I struggle to put my thoughts together, so. But I'm really glad that you guys have tuned in and that you guys are watching this video. And if you guys make artwork, um, or the same piece of artwork, tag me in it on Instagram. I would love to see your I would like to see your version of artwork that you've made. Uh, I'm I would be very excited to see what my fans have come up with and what they can kind of do with what they have. And it doesn't matter what kind of markers you have, what kind of media you have. I want to see it all. I don't care. Like, I want to see it all. So if you are watching this and you're making artwork to it, or you are making the same artwork that I am making, please tag me on Instagram. I want to see that artwork. Like, I want to see that. I want to see it posted in comments. I want to see wherever you can post it. Just tag me in it, because I would be so excited to see what you guys work on. And yeah, you can kind of see the side of my face in the camera. But anyways, Editing, Brittany, coming in with some new audio. I realized that I think at some point that the video had cut out, and I didn't realize that because it had jumped from one leaf to the next or something. It looked funny when I was going back to editing the actual video footage. And yeah, so I just wanted to take a moment. I'm still working on trying to get better um, video recording equipment and trying to figure out the best way to record my artwork, and hopefully it will just be one long um either a couple of long clips, or if I could try and figure out how to set up the camera sound to where I can hear it when it stops recording for a reason, so that way I can pick back up where I left off and I don't have to worry about, oh crap, did it record all of my video? Because I've had that problem in the past with this particular camera where it'll cut out right in the middle of me doing something, and then I lose everything that I had done up to, like, after that point. So bear with me. I'm trying to figure out the best way possible, and thank you. here. I'm just kind of like coming in here periodically, just to kind of let you know. I actually had went in with a ballpoint pen to do the eyebrow and some of the other areas, because I feel like when doing hair on anywhere, a ballpoint pen kind of gives me that wispy, especially on like facial hair. I feel like a ballpoint pen really gives that depth, and it breaks it up as far as like looking like actual hair or strands of hair. And then I had went in with a oh my gosh, a multi-liner. It's the Micron, Figma Micron. I think they're multi-liners. I had went in and um I had went in and done the outlines for everything else, and I believe I also had used a colored pencil for some details on the little twig branches pieces, but I definitely wanted um, some depth towards some of the areas, and I wanted to explain that why I chose the ballpoint pen at first when making that piece of artwork. So I am wrapping up the video and I'm finishing up the line work, and I want to say thank you so much for tuning in and watching this video. I appreciate your view and your comments and your suggestions so much, and I will continue doing what I do best and letting you watch the video. Again, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Uh, so again, if you don't follow me already, go ahead and click the like button, set up your notification bell to all, and follow me on my Instagram. I have Facebook, I think, in my um, I also have a Redbubble shop that I can get set up to where you guys will be able to purchase certain items, uh, and prints and all that other good stuff. Uh, thank you so much, and I appreciate you guys. Anyways, have a awesome day and worry less, create more. Thank you guys.